Hello everybody. Welcome to another edition of Speaking of Zane. In fact, it's the 305th edition of Speaking of Zane. Today's January the 12th already. Wow, 2025. We've been going strong here most weeks since August of 2018. So, what is that? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, over 6 years now. So, hopefully, you guys continue to join and enjoy the content. Not that it's anything earth shattering. We just get together and you guys get to hear me speak Zane's name in an effort to be sure that he is not forgotten. And along the way, we talk about other things, of course, um, here and there, veteran related, military related, and organization related, etc. But appreciate you guys joining when you can on Sunday evenings. I'm always open minded, by the way, um, to feedback um, as it relates to the time. Is this the best time of day? Is it the best day of the week? Well, I tell you, I'm the ultimate in flexibility. I tell my team we operate at work in this mindset of flexible within a framework, and it gives us this great comfort of being agile and mobile and being able to do things inside of a structure framework. But anyway, I'm open to feedback on that. Also open to feedback on this tool. You guys see, I'm able to use a tool called StreamYard. Um, that's a subscription, an annual. I pay annually for it, but it lets me do the captioning and the banners and the chat and the music and the countdown and all the graphics. I can bring speakers in as you've seen me do some over the years. But if you know of a competitive tool to StreamYard, I'm all ears. This just happens to be what I stumbled on and read the reviews and been using it now since early. Um, let me pause for a second. Lori's asking about speaking to Zane. She's downstairs with Carson. I'll tell you about that in a minute. She may not be seeing the feed for some reason, but I'll. There we go. But anyway, I use this tool called StreamYard. Now I'm not married to it. In fact, I'm a little bit upset with them at the moment because the annual subscription that I pay for these last four years or so is about $240, $250, something like that. But they just announced that this year they're increasing it to like $430 or something. So it's almost increasing by $200 a year. With I don't see any great updates or modifications. Anyway, um, I'm not married to this tool as a production tool, although it seems to do all the things that I like. But if anybody knows of a broadcast or production type tool, I'm all ears on that as well. All right. Well, let's see. So Carson, our little granddaughter, is here. Um, she came for a sleepover, as she often does, yesterday. And let's see, why did, oh, because her mom and dad, our son Jackson and his wife Caitlin, were going out on a double date with another couple. So Carson came over to spend the night. She has a big time when she's here. Really, really fun, little 5-year-old girl. And anyway, she was supposed to go home today because she was going to the Atlanta Aquarium, the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, with the three of them, with Everett and his mom and her husband. They were all going to go to the Georgia Aquarium today. And Caitlin got sick. Caitlin, our daughter in law, Jackson's wife, got sick. And turns out she had a gallbladder attack. I guess, is that what they call it? Gallbladder attack? I don't know what they call it. Anyway, she just got out of surgery. Just like Jackson just messaged Lori, and Lori let everybody know, or Jackson let everybody know that She's through the surgery, came out, everything's okay. She's in post-op, and he hadn't seen her yet, but everything's okay. But and she's a young woman. She's only, but what, Lori, 24, 25, something like that. But anyway, so hopefully that'll fix that issue there, the gallbladder. But anyway, consequently, our little granddaughter Carson is having another night, another sleepover, she calls it. So yeah, it's always fun when she's here. It's a little bit exhausting, honestly. Now Lori does such a great job. She's the best Grammy in the world, and is able that she knows how to orchestrate this period of time whenever she's here. Um, but she is full on, this little 5-year-old girl. She is full on, full blast, and you have to be in on everything with her. She can't do anything on her own. She can't even color in a coloring book on her own. You got to be in it with her. So it's a little exhausting and a little demanding, but she's always a really good little girl, very sweet. But anyway, so she's here right now downstairs with Lori. Um, she's probably asleep. She's supposed to go to sleep at 7 o'clock. She usually doesn't when she's here with us. Um, Lori does a better job at it than I do. But anyway, so Caitlin had to go in for surgery. She's out now. Everything's okay. And we're on the heels of a snowstorm. I say snowstorm. For us, it was a snowstorm. We woke up Friday morning. By the time we got up, it was already snowing. I don't know, Lori, what, 6 something? It was already snowing, and pretty rare for us. We've been in this house now 5 years. I don't think we had any snow that stuck in this house in the last 5 years. We might have had a few flurries, but we had 2 or 3 inches. Um, and it went as far. It went south of Atlanta. We're 50 miles north of the airport, so we're a good ways up from Atlanta. But it did go deep into Atlanta and south. Um, I don't know how far south, but anyway, it was quite a day on Friday, and so Carson got to play in the snow. I think her first real snow, and Everett as well. Of course, they were out of school, but yeah, we get that much snow up here. Everything kind of shuts down for sure. But I know a lot of you across the country, across the center of the country, have had a recent snow events this season. But yeah, it's nice for a day or two, but there's a reason we don't live in Nebraska anymore, right, Lori? It just got too taxing for us to deal with the snow. I think we're in a great spot here because it gets cold, it gets hot. We have distinct 4 seasons here. But I forgot to do a quick little roll call here and see who we have on board tonight. Steve Shirley's in there. Hey, Steve. You never know if where Steve and Kathy are at, because they, since retired, they are global travelers. But it looks like Steve's home. I think last week, Steve, you guys were somewhere down in the desert, weren't you? Ken says he's missing tonight, but Ken owes us some thank yous and cemetery visits that he did on his recent trip to, where did he go, Steve? Montana, I believe. So we'll get those from Ken next week. Let's see. Jimbo Miller's in here from Omaha. Daryl's in here. Hey, Daryl. I know Daryl's home now. And Daryl, I saw Daryl's, was that your son, Daryl, that came over and shoveled your snow and everything. So we're continue to pull for you, Daryl, on your recovery. My dad's in there. Hey, Dad, how cold did it get down there in South Georgia? Dad's in there. Carl's in there. Hey, Carl from Warsaw. Sorry about your Chiefs. I guess were they eliminated, or did I just watch a game that they lost? Anyway, speaking of football, there were a lot of good bowl games over the last couple weeks. Congrats to Notre Dame over Penn State. That was which bowl was that? I forget which bowl it was, but Orange maybe. Yeah, Orange Bowl. And then Ohio State over Texas. Wow, but those were great games. Every bowl game I watched was good. The only bowl game I think that was surprisingly not good was that Oregon game, and I didn't stay up to watch that whole thing. But yeah, I was pulling for Texas over Ohio State, but it should be a good matchup between Notre Dame and Ohio State. What is that? Not tomorrow, but next Monday. What would that be? See, tomorrow's the 13th. That'd be the 20th. Is that Martin Luther King Day? Are they going to play that? I think that's right. But anyway, it was a really good college football season, I thought. The SEC, of course, didn't dominate as they have in years past. Let's see. My cousin Toby's in there. Let's see. My Aunt Mary's in there. Let's see. Lori says, not Abby. Caitlin's 25. Yep, she's a year younger than Jackson, I believe, but they share a birthday. What is it, Lori? April 2nd? Let's see. Yeah, okay. It was south of Omaha, Jim. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Dipped down into obviously Missouri, over into Tennessee. Carson is telling me hello. She says I'm sweet. Oh, isn't that great? She's a sweet granddaughter. Brenda Lusk is in there. Oh, Steve, we can't wait to hear what next week, what holds, what you have in store for next month. Okay, okay, yeah, I don't watch the NFL that much these days, Carl, but I have a guy in Kansas City in our current academy cohort, and he's a big Chiefs fan, and so I kind of keep track of them and stuff because of him. But the I know the Falcons lost. Jackson ended up going to the Falcons game. Um, Jackson went to the Peach Bowl, and then later that week went to the Falcons game. And I think for the Falcons to make it into the postseason, they had to win, and New Orleans had to lose or something like that. But anyway, neither one of them happened, so the Falcons won't advance. Okay, well, let's see. I did get those. Remember, I had those boxes of red T-shirts and challenge coins. I got almost 100 of them out the door this past week, and they are currently being distributed all across the country. And I got about 100 more I need to do. I'll be going to St. Louis toward the end of the month, and I'll pick up another batch of them, and I'll bring them back so I can distribute them. But that's been kind of a fun project. I've been getting people have been receiving them now and messaging me and thanking me for these T-shirts, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Nice little project there. And let's see, what about the hat of the week? Hat of the week, hat of the week. Well, the hat of the week, I've worn this hat before as the hat of the week. It's not an everyday hat for me because I'm not a Dodger fan. I'm a Braves fan, but Lori is a Dodger fan. And I've worn this hat before as hat of the week um, when the Dodgers won the World Series and such. But I'm wearing it this time. I got the idea from a friend of mine who's actually a colonel in the Air Force. He's the commander. He's the base commander at Keesler Air Force Base, the wing commander maybe. Um, his name's Billy, and he's from Los Angeles, and big Dodger fan. And he posted on Facebook wearing his Dodger hat in solidarity uh, to all the victims of the fires out there. Yeah, just incredible. Incredible what's going on there with the Santa Ana winds, and there's a lot of blame to go around for sure. But bottom line is, good people are suffering for whatever mistakes or whatever. But yeah, so for that, in solidarity with those folks in LA, in that area where Lori grew up. Uh, and it's hard for Lori to watch all these places where she knows very well from childhood. But that's why this is the hat of the week. All right. Well, let's see. Okay, Ken's updating us here a little bit. Let me see. Let me go ahead and add Ken's um, totals to the log. So when I get to that section, um, wow. So we got one, two, three cemeteries. Yeah, Fort Logan I've been to. I haven't been to Cheyenne or F.E. Warren cemeteries. So that's great. And those, one of those, at least one of those may be a first for us. I don't know. Ken, have you been to those? Have you been to the two Wyoming ones before? I can't recall. Let me, let me update the numbers real time here. Yeah, Jim, I saw that. I hadn't read any details on it. I saw a headline about that. That's a shame for sure. The drone collision there. Stick with me as I'm trying to update in real time, so I don't forget when the session ends here. Cheyenne and then Fort Logan, which is just a little bit southwest of Denver Airport, if I recall. Okay, and for the thank yous, Ken had 14 of them, so we're going to add those to the thank you list. Good job, Ken. Ken always has brings back really good numbers after he goes on one of his trips. So does Steve Shirley, by the way. Good stuff. So we'll add one, two, three to the cemetery count. You guys are being very patient with me while I update my document here. Well, Ken, we'll miss you. Thanks for giving me those updates before you have to split, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. So Ken had 14 thank yous. I'm going to add those to mine. Yeah, Lori's more up to speed on that drone issue than I am. I need to go do a little research. Add Ken's totals here. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, Jimbo's jumping in there too. Let's get Jim's in there. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys doing that with us. That's been a real fun thing for me. Not just to strike up a conversation with a veteran or a military member or a first responder, but to to say thank you or tip the hat or give a salute. Any and all of those interactions count, and it's just a lot of fun to track those with you guys. All right, we'll get to those numbers here in a second. I did have a couple of this week in military history items. I've not done that segment for the last couple of sessions, but I took a little time today to pull some. Um, and I didn't know this, but January the 12th, 1945, the German forces began to retreat in Belgium at the Battle of the Bulge. And fast forward to January 13th, which would be tomorrow, January 13th, 1968, was the beginning of the Tet Offensive in Vietnam. And fast forward again to January 12th, 1991, Congress gave President Bush authority to wage war against Iraq. We all remember that well, don't we? Those of us that were serving at the time and the escalation of all of that. All right, well, let's go to the cemetery challenge here, and I'll tell you that we had 9 visits over the week. I always count my dad's and my sister's. My sister does an absolutely fantastic job of posting when she visits. Often when she visits, when she takes flowers or something, and I so enjoy that. I don't tell her enough um, how much I appreciate it, but I do because I don't get down there as often as I should. It's about a 3-hour drive. Um, I'm going to do better with that this year, but I appreciate my sis posting pictures. And then let's see. I think I put that in the wrong spot. Let's go back right there. Okay. Um, to Ken. So we had Ken at F.U. Warren Cemetery, Cheyenne. Um, what is it called, Ken? Cheyenne National, F.U. Warren Cemetery, Cheyenne National Cemetery, and Fort Logan. So good week there, Ken. Thank you for doing that. That's fantastic. And so if I total up the Veteran Cemetery challenge visits, we had 9 over the week, so that makes 1,372. And we would have had more this week, or I would have had a visit this week, except they canceled the wreath cleanup day, which was supposed to be Saturday, and it's a good thing they did because the roads were impassable. We had the snow and then the freezing rain and then ice. So didn't get to go to Georgia National on Saturday like I had planned. But good news is they've just postponed it by a week. So we'll be doing it this coming Saturday, which will be the 18th, I believe. 11 plus 7, 18th. Yeah. So we'll have a Georgia National Cemetery visit in there. That's a good, Lori. You got me wondering now. It had to be 91, 91, wasn't it? January 12th, 91. Congress gives George Bush authority to wage war against Iraq. Yeah, it was 91 because later in 91 is when the Desert Shield activities ramped up and then spilled over into 92 Desert Storm, right? And then I got out at the end of 92. Isn't that right? I think that's right. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look. You got me wondering now. Okay. Well, let's see. What about let's see. We'll go back to the thank yous now since I added Ken's and Jimbo's. So I had an Air Force guy, Mike, um, that I had a pretty good conversation with this week. In fact, we're both going to be in the London office at the same time, and he's going to be helping me with some things there. So Mike was an Air Force comm guy, in fact. And then another Air Force guy, David, I talked to this week. And then a soldier, Jacob, he's in the Illinois National Guard. He works at our company, and he has been deployed on the border for 15 months. And our company's been so good. Of course, we follow regulations, USERA, and the other things, and we go above and beyond what's required. But he's finally back home and back at work after a 15-month activation and deployment to the border. So welcome back, Jacob. And then my friend Rhonda Medlin, she's had her Coastie son home. Her son Brock is in the Coast Guard. He's been home for the holidays. So I had her on my list, so I added that. So it looks like we had about 18 thank yous this week. Pretty good. We're at 3,209 thank yous since we started doing this. Geez, just since Lori updated the sign to 3,000, we're already 200 more down the road. So good work, everybody. All right, well, let's see. I think that's probably everything I have today. Nothing to update. Well, there's one thing to update. My dad reminded me of this. Every year our friend Aaron Bartle up in Michigan does the Running to Honor, and every July we do the Running to Honor 5K. I happened to do it this past year in London with some of my team. Um, well, the registration for this summer is open. Running to Honor is open. Go to Running to Honor on Facebook page or Google it, and you'll find it. But my dad asked me today if I had set up our group, because in past years I'll set up a Speaking of Zane group, and then when you go to register for the 5K, you can register as a member of the Speaking of Zane team. So I will do that this week. I will establish the team and then let you guys know about it on the Facebook group. So thanks for the reminder. And I didn't see any um, any oh, Steve's coming in. Steve's coming in with some updates for us, and I got to get them while they're hot. So let me go ahead and add Steve's. He's got wow, you hit a target rich environment there at Sam's. Steve got what did you get there, Steve? 3 at Sam's, 7 Omaha PD. Very good. Good stuff. So what is that for you? 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. We'll add 10. That'll be an easy math problem for me. 28 makes it 3,219 thank yous so far. So appreciate the update there, Steve. All right. Like I said, I didn't see any heroes wounded or lost this week. Now I don't catch everything because I don't watch everything and stuff. I'll usually note those things if I see them come across a feed, or if I see a news item, or when I listen to the news in the morning if I hear something. And I didn't hear any. That doesn't mean there weren't any this week, but if I know about them, I'll always call them out, because whenever we lose somebody, they certainly deserve to be acknowledged and recognized for sure. Okay, team. Well, remember, I'm wide open for feedback about additional topics that we can pull into Speaking of Zane. I love the idea. I'm going to need you guys. I need you guys to rally around this if it's a good idea. But I would love to begin doing a veteran highlight. I've talked about it before. Didn't quite get the traction, but I would love to highlight some of you in your service, or if you have a veteran you want to highlight, share that with me, and we'll herald them. Whether it's a relative or a family member, those are the same things, or a friend, or somebody in your background, or anybody that we've lost along the way. I would love to have a segment, a veteran highlights segment. But anyway, I'm open-minded to things that are engaging and informative, and you guys tell me. Don't be afraid to give me feedback for sure. I love this every week, and I appreciate you guys tagging along. And with that said, I'll look forward to it again next Sunday already. And you guys have a great week, whether it's at work or at school, or if you're retired. Daryl, we continue to pray for you and your recovery. And I'm going to be coming to St. Louis in a couple of weeks, and maybe we can meet up. I'd love to see you. It's been a little while. It's been probably since I was there. You picked me up from the airport after the honor flight. That may have been the last time I've seen you, and that's been quite some time now, 8 or 9 months. But wishing you the best, and appreciate your updates. I know everybody does, so we can keep track of you and know how you're doing. But we'll look forward to talking to everybody next Sunday night for another edition of Speaking of Zane. And Daryl, we'll see you later in the month, hopefully, and wish everybody the best this week. Take care.